Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for being here today. This is Semi Homesteading with Abby. If you're new, welcome. I hope you enjoy. I'm basically trying to learn as many homesteading skills as I can, even though I don't have a full-blown homestead. I'm doing something very exciting today. My mother-in-law makes the best chicken pot pie you have ever tasted. It is the best. I'm sure she got it from some other recipe. I don't know where she got it from. I will list the whole recipe in the description below so you can see it. If I figure out where it originally came from, I will also link that. But today is gonna be the first time that I actually try to make it. Today we have a family gathering. It's starting to be fall. We've put up our fall decorations. And so I thought today was a perfect day to try to make it. So let's get started. I'm gonna pull the recipe up on my phone. We're gonna get it cooking. There's a decent amount of ingredients, but I don't think it's gonna be overly hard to make. So let's get all the ingredients out and I'll walk you through it step by step as I make chicken pot pie. Let's get started. Okay, we need potatoes, carrots, and celery. We need butter, onion, and garlic. I really thought I had a white onion, but I don't think I do. I have part of this sweet yellow onion that I used a couple days ago. I'm just gonna say that that's gonna be fine. I don't think it'll change too drastically. I never use fresh garlic, almost ever. Unless someone has gifted me like a clove of garlic from their garden or something. I'm all about that jarlic, okay? It's so much easier. I can't be bothered with the time it takes to do fresh garlic. Okay, we need flour, salt, thyme, and pepper. This is all-purpose flour, but I do have about 25 pounds of, this fly is bothering me. I have about 25 pounds of wheat berries that at some point I'm going to mill and make my own flour. I just need to get the courage to actually go do that and the time, so that should hopefully be soon. But for now, I'm using all-purpose. Okay, a cup and a half of chicken broth, whole milk, chicken, frozen peas, and refrigerated pie crust. I have all of our ingredients. I made this pie crust a few days ago. It's the best recipe that I found. It's all butter. It's no like bad oils or anything. It's just like very simple ingredients with a lot of butter. It's flaky, it's delicious. I'm now like bulk making these to keep in the freezer. So I would highly recommend. And I'm gonna get out my cutting board because it is cutting time. I need to cut up all these vegetables, kind of process them. Oh, I totally grabbed green onions instead of celery. So 1 second. Okay, that's better. So we need about a cup of celery. So I'm gonna wash this. I'm just gonna pull off a couple of these little leaves and stuff. Okay, we're gonna end up putting the celery, carrots, and potatoes into a saucepan. I'm just gonna grab the saucepan now. Okay, we need a bit more. All right. All right, put that in the saucepan. We need a half cup of sliced carrots. Cut them. I wonder, do you think sliced carrots means like you do the peeler and have like long slices, or is it just like this? It says sliced carrots, not like chopped carrots. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with this and see what happens. It probably won't change the taste, so. Okay. Okay, now we do the potatoes. So I need to peel them, and then I'm gonna use my special kitchen chopper, which makes my life so much easier. So I don't have to dice these potatoes on my own, and I'll show you that. If you're not new to this channel, if you've watched a couple of my videos, you definitely know what I'm talking about. I feel like I use it every single cooking video. It has absolutely changed my life. I used to really dread making things like chilies and stuff because the amount of chopping would be crazy. Like our chili recipe has 6 green bell peppers in it, you know, some onions, jalapenos. I was like, this is too much chopping. I don't want to make this. Now that I have this chopper, it takes 3 seconds. Okay. All right, so this is the chopper. There's this size of square. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of bigger. This is what I use for potatoes. There's also a smaller one. It's like a quarter of the size of that. And that's what I use for green bell peppers and things like that. So you just set this on here, chopped. So easy. Okay, and this doesn't need a cup, although honestly I'm never opposed to adding more potatoes into any recipe ever. So I might be adding just a touch more than a cup. Oh yeah, there's a lot of extra potatoes in here. Maybe I'll try to like air fry these as a snack later or something. I'll set those aside. Okay, so now it says to preheat the oven to 425. Okay, so I have all my vegetables in the saucepan, and it just says to add water and bring this to a boil. It doesn't specify how much water, it just says to cover. So just slightly cover them and then bring to a boil. Realizing I should have cleaned my stove before filming this video, so don't mind if you see it's a little dirty. I spilled some tomato sauce and I forgot to clean it up, so disregard. Okay, once it's boiling, we're gonna reduce the heat and cook it covered for 8 to 10 minutes or until it's, you know, kind of crisp tender, it says, and then we'll drain. So we're gonna let that cook. Meanwhile, in a large skillet, we're gonna heat the butter over medium-high heat. Technically, this is a Dutch oven. This is my sourdough Dutch oven, which is why it looks kind of like dirty and somewhat ruined. I promise it's clean. I think I just heated it too high. But anyway, we're gonna use our Dutch oven, butter and medium-high heat, and we're gonna add our onion. So we need half a cup of onion. Out from this. I'll just set it aside. And I'm gonna switch out my blade to this smaller one. I hope you can see that. And this is how I'm going to be cutting my onions. So I usually just quarter my onion, or maybe half. This one's kind of small, I used some of it already. And you just set it on. I'll save the rest of these onions too. Maybe I'll make like some sort of breakfast skillet or something tomorrow with the leftovers. So we need a half cup of butter, cubed. This is not a low-fat recipe. It's definitely not the healthiest, but you know, that's not why we're here. We're here to have a delicious chicken pot pie. I feel good at least when I make, you know, something that's not necessarily super healthy or whatever. As long as it's home cooked and doesn't have all these fake ingredients in it and stuff, I feel usually fine about it. So I'm gonna throw this cubed butter into the pot. Okay, the butter's pretty much completely melted down now, so I'm gonna add the onions. Okay, and those are gonna go until they're tender. So while those are cooking, we're gonna do our seasoning mix plus our flour. So we need half a cup of flour. teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of thyme. A quarter of a teaspoon of pepper. And that's it. That's all for our seasoning. So let's check on our onions, see if they're tender. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe when you do like the butter and the flour mix, it's called a roux. And I've never made a bad recipe when you have to make a roux. You know, that just always kind of to me signals it's gonna be good. So this is no different. Okay, our veggies are starting to boil, and here's what the roux looks like. So now we're gonna reduce heat on the boiling vegetables, and we're gonna cover it, for 8 to 10 minutes. Oh, the oven is preheated, so that's good. All right, now we're gonna add 1.5 cups of broth and 3/4 cup of whole milk. And it says to gradually stir this in. Okay, perfect. Everything, like, we can breathe for a second. I'm gonna try to clean up as much as I can, so we're cleaning as I go, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, I just got my few ingredients left that we haven't used. Okay, so we're cooking and stirring this for 2 minutes until it's removed from the heat. It's been boiling for a couple minutes. You just stir it constantly and then remove it from the heat. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, this is what we have. And as you can see, it's pretty well thickened. So I'm gonna go ahead and just push it back and remove it from the heat. Okay, I got like a little bit frazzled trying to film it and do it, so I just took it off the heat fully and put it on this like trivet. Okay, now I need 2 cups of chicken, which I really should have prepped this rotisserie chicken beforehand, but I can't go back, so I'm just gonna do it now, because now I need to stir in my chicken, my frozen peas, and the, you know, strained potato, celery, carrot mixture. So I'm going to try to really quickly pull apart 2 cups of meat off of this chicken. It's not going to be the prettiest chicken processing you've seen, but I hope it'll be kind of quick. I finally want to try to make homemade chicken broth. So I'm going to save the carcass and the rest of the meat on there and really attempt to do that at some point very soon. Okay, I'm just going to roughly chop this to better size pieces. I'm so glad that my mother-in-law makes this, because I don't know if chicken pot pie would be something that I just thought of to make, but now that she makes it, I'm like, I need more of that in my life. I need to make it myself so that when we're not visiting, I can still eat this. I need to learn how to master this recipe. So I'm glad you're along for the ride of me trying. Okay, we're gonna add the chicken into the pot. We're definitely able to strain our vegetables now, so let me get that. Okay, now we can add that in. And finally, half a cup of frozen peas. Perfect. Okay, now we mix it all together and we have an amazing pie filling. And it looks so good. I need to show this to you. Here's how it looks all mixed together. Oh, I cannot wait to eat this. Okay, so that part is all done. We have our filling all set together. I'm just going to clean. How did I forget garlic? Okay, I forgot garlic. Now, do I add it now that it's done? I don't remember it saying add the garlic. Okay, it didn't say to add the garlic in the printout that I see, but I'm assuming it was supposed to go in with the onion when it was all getting tender. I'm just gonna skip it for now. I'll have to ask my mother-in-law about that later. It definitely doesn't have it. Okay, that's beside the point. I think it'll still be okay. But if it's missing a little something something, I'll know that maybe it's because of the garlic, because I didn't add it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna clean off my counter because now it is time for the pie crust. And I can't tell you how excited I am that I had already prepped this, made it. I don't have to make a whole pie crust from scratch today. Makes this whole thing easier. So we're gonna roll out both pie crusts. I have my Le Creuset pie pan. I couldn't be more obsessed with this. I'm gonna make sure the counter's all dry. That was just Branch Basics cleaning solution, so there's no like toxic chemicals in it, but I want to make sure it's all dry and ready to go. And let's start rolling out our crust. Maybe I should have taken them out a little bit earlier from the fridge. They're still a little bit tough. That's okay. We'll just put some elbow grease into it. So I've always folded my pie crust just in half and then kind of slid them on my pie crust. I'm trying the trick where you roll it up on your rolling pin and then unroll. Works like a charm. Okay, it says to trim to the edge of the pie pan, but I'm gonna just set this aside for now and roll out my second one. It's not exactly how it's supposed to look shape-wise, but that's okay. All right, we're gonna pull this one to the side a little bit, bring this back. We're gonna bring our mixture over here. I can't even tell you how good this smells. I'm so excited. And you know, I'm gonna have just a little bite. Oh my gosh. Whenever we visit, a lot of times when we visit Michigan, my birthday falls during our visit. So my mother-in-law will make me like a special birthday meal. And I always have requested chimichangas. My mother-in-law makes just, I mean, such a good chimichanga also. But I think it was last time we went there, she made the chicken pot pie again, and I had forgotten about it. And I had one taste of it and I was like, why is this not my birthday meal? This is the best thing I've ever tasted. So this year, actually I don't know if we'll be in Michigan on my birthday this year, but assuming we are, or every year going forward, I'm requesting this. Okay, we're gonna lay our new pizza crust over the top. I kind of abandoned the rolling pin thing. We'll trim it. I think I'm supposed to do this, like, sort of, you know, crimp it. A little flour on here. Okay, now we're gonna cut slits in the top. I kind of want to make it cute. Maybe I'll do a little kind of star. And then maybe, oh, wait, I have star carved. I don't know how many I need. Just needs to vent, right? I think that's okay. Maybe I'll just make them a little bigger. I haven't made a lot of full topped pies before, so I don't know how big these slits need to be. If you have any insight into that, drop a comment below. The other thing kind of fun is I was watching this Food Network show about these bakers who had won their state fair. Like, they had won blue ribbons for baking things at their state fair, and it's this competition show. And I realized my next life goal is going to be to win a blue ribbon at a state fair. I need to do this in my life, or just any ribbon. I need to at least enter a state fair. So stay tuned on my channel for my quest to win a blue ribbon at a state fair. Okay, that's all. I think this is looking amazing, if I do say so myself. It's pretty. So I'm gonna throw this in the oven. You bake it for 35 to 40 minutes until the crust is lightly golden brown. And then we're gonna let it sit for 15 minutes to rest. And then we're free to take it over for our family gathering. This looks much too cute to not take a picture of it before it goes in the oven. All right, let's put it in. I'll let you know how it tastes. Okay, so I baked it for 35 minutes in the convection oven. Now, I think this cooks a little bit quicker than the conventional oven I have, so I put it in the convection oven not really thinking about it, and the ends got a little bit burnt, as you can tell here. It ended up not making a difference. The taste was still absolutely amazing. You can hear my son in the background, but we're just gonna keep going, so say hi to my son. Anyway, I have learned since this video about pie guards, like to put on the edges of your pie so they don't get burnt, or putting tinfoil on the top. I could have done that as well. Honestly, I put in the oven, didn't really check it till 35 minutes later, so if I had seen that the edges were burning, I could have put foil on it. But I might invest in the little pie guards for the edges. After I took it out, I just wrapped it in foil to bring it over to my family's house. It sat for probably 30 to 45 minutes like this before we were able to eat it. So don't feel bad, you know, you're supposed to let it sit for 15 minutes to rest anyway, but a little bit longer than that is fine. It was absolutely delicious. I'm getting requests to make this again. People said it was the best chicken pot pie they had ever had. I will link the recipe and all products used in the description of the video. Thank you all so much for watching and for being a part of this channel. I so appreciate you being here. I'll see you next week for another one. Bye, everyone.